Do I need to be closer? I feel like I need to be closer. Ryan!
Hello.
Hi!
Hi.
It's, when did we record? October?
It just
November,
started
December,
suddenly.
January,
I wasn't ready
February,
for it.
March, April, May, June, July, August. It's only been like basically 11 months. That's 10 months.
That's fine.
Back end of August.
That's enough
It's
time.
been a little while. Have you listened to the first episode?
I've listened to every one. I don't think I've listened to all of the last one, but that's just because time's eluded me on it.
Yeah,
but,
it's quite soon.
Yeah. I've listened to them all. I don't remember everything from them, but I at least make sure that like if one comes out, I'll put it on in the background because I mean I'm not going to watch the logo.
No, obviously.
For however long each one is.
My first question is: do you still hate sleeping?
I mean, I guess I still have that mentality of that work will elude me if I sleep.
Yeah.
But I've come to terms with it that it's important, and I will sleep. But sleep is good. It's a good thing. Like that's the thing. That's what I said before. I said that I loved it, but I hate it.
Yeah.
I don't think I didn't really elaborate on why I enjoyed it. I enjoy it because it's good for you, and it feels so good to sleep in a bed and recover all that energy. Because you waste a lot of it, obviously, depending on what you do. So that's one disadvantage to being the whole, I'm not going to sleep, or you're just going to waste more energy, and then you're going to be even more tired. I still have that same amount of energy. I think I've improved on it a little bit.
Yeah.
It comes and goes these days. If I have a job to do on a project outside of YouTube or anything like that, that'll be when I go, right, okay, I got to knuckle down, I got to get the sleep in to a good point so that I have enough energy for the day. And then if I'm not working on anything or I don't have any commitment, then I don't mind staying up a little bit and getting stuff done. I tweet at like midnight, 1 a.m. anyway.
Do you still not like animation?
It's
the physical act of animating.
I mean, there's been gaps where I haven't animated, and that's again been to other work. It's a hard thing to suddenly try and get back into. But I've found myself, whenever I've taken a break from it to do something else, and then I've come back to it, I'm doing better than I was.
Oh,
like
that's good.
The quality has improved more than I thought it would. And it's not like blowing up, but like there's been a couple of videos on that which like in the past few weeks, one video suddenly blew up and got tons of views, and I was like, why this one? It wasn't I don't mind any increasing amount of attention on something is brilliant, but like I was very shocked that suddenly that it blew up. But it's every time I come back to it, I don't hate it anymore. I think I appreciate it a lot more. I've watched a lot more creators who animate, and that makes me want to raise my game, not to compete with them or anything like that, but to get better, to animate bigger and better things. But I don't hate it as much as I used to.
No, that's pleasing. That's good to hear.
Yeah.
One of your most recent videos is a Sparks take.
Oh yeah.
A deeply meta Sparks take.
Yeah.
That I found incredible watching. One of my favorite. I feel like I say this a lot, but one of my favorite things you've ever done.
Yeah.
Was that Sparks take. Are you going to make more videos in that style rather than animation? Is that sort of where you're leaning now?
I don't think I'm leaning more towards it. It's Sparks take is more of a thing if there's something that's really interesting to me and it's something I enjoy, then it's kind of nice to take it apart in a way.
Yeah.
The what I call it is it's called like Sparks take on the Ryan Spark. I call it the self roast.
Yeah, that works.
But,
yeah, that makes sense.
That it was written, recorded, and edited. It was like done the day before it came out. Like I just. Because I wanted something. I was like, I could animate something. Because I always try and release a video on my birthday.
No, that's a good thing to do.
Not in celebration of myself or anything like that. It's just a nice little thing to do. I believe there's been one for the past 3 years. The first one was a video where I took a Subway commercial from Uncharted 3
I remember that one.
And I dubbed it with my Nathan Drake take, and then there was a small animation thing which was a bit rubbish, to be honest. But I didn't have anything last year. I didn't have anything prepared this year. I wanted to actually put effort into it again, and so I made the self roast. But I don't want to commit to that because I know that's what a large portion of the people that have actually subscribed, they're not there to see that.
No. I imagine you've got most of your subscribers from your your animations.
Yeah. So it's a little daunting when it comes to making it and uploading it because I know it's probably not going to get as much attention, which is fine. It's for a different audience really, and at the same time I'm a little bit daunted that I'll lose people from it because people will assume that is the direction the channel's going in as opposed to. But again, I say again, but I've just said it on I think I said it on Twitter after I got it out because it came out and two people straight away, just two people were gone.
They unsubscribed.
I noticed that 2 subscribers were gone.
Wow.
And it irked me, but not in the sense that I wasn't angry because they left, but I was sort of irked in the sense of animation takes a really long time, and I don't want the channel to be dead for that long. If the channel's dead for that long, I don't get as much money. I don't get a lot of money still, but every penny counts. I forget which brand uses that as their slogan.
Tesco.
Might be
Every
Tesco.
Little helps.
Yeah. So every little helps for when it comes to that. So when 2 people left, I was like, look, understand that I'm not a machine. I can't work like a machine. And at the same time, I thought they might have taken the video too seriously because there is a line in there where he says, "Why are you subscribed to this guy?" And it makes it sound. You
think that might have caused them to leave?
I think sometimes some people might not understand that it is a character, and that was kind of at the same time why I made the self roast to really say it in that it is a character. And that it's not me, it's not my true opinions on a lot of things. It's more of the first one isn't even an opinion, it's just straight up made up. But in answer to if I'm going to keep making them, I'm making 2 right now.
Oh, good.
I'm making one that's going to be very different, which is Spark's take on Sonic Mania. Which is
interesting.
I'm absolutely love making it at the moment. It's different in I think a good way as opposed to a bad way. And then yesterday, after I got back from where I went, I had Uncharted The Lost Legacy downloading, and I played through that. I played through it all yesterday evening. I've beaten it. It's not that long. It's like a DLC thing. And so there's going to be a sequel to Spark's take on Uncharted 4.
Come on.
So it's literally going to take place exactly where the last one left off, and it's being treated as a complete sequel, and that it's moments after the last one ended. So I know at the end he was like, "Oh, don't talk about the kids. The kids will be answered."
Okay.
So I am making more.
Well, I'm pleased to hear that. Do you ever think about making an entirely separate channel for different style of videos? Because I know you've gone over a lot of changes in your YouTube career. You were making short films, then you made a lot of let's plays. Now you're focusing more on animation, but also some Sparks takes in there. Do you think that mixture of all those sort of different types of content is stopping you from growing as big as you want? Whereas one channel is right, we're going to do Minecraft videos, or one channel is right, we're going to do education, whatever, or animation. Do you think mixing it is hindering you? Do you ever think about creating a purely Sparks take channel?
Yeah, I've toyed with the idea before, but I have thought about making separate channels for it. But at the same time, I've also looked at it and gone, just because I make a channel, how do I then, because it's all got a link together to me, not as one channel, I don't mean in that sense, but you do have people who have multiple channels, and they're all kind of linked to one another. Sometimes they'll put in description you can go to this channel, and I think just because I do it on the channel I have now, people probably wouldn't follow the link to the other one.
Right.
And so so in the end, it would be like building up for, like, say I did, like, I went back to doing short films. I did a short film channel, the animation channel, a Let's Play channel, and a Sparks Take channel. It'd be 4 audiences I kind of have to grow. At the same time, I don't think you'd have to commit to all 4 of those. And I don't think I could. I definitely couldn't make short films, animate, do a Let's Play, and make Sparks Take it, like, all in one. If I was doing it for a living, and one channel was earning me enough to keep me at home all day, all week, then I would branch out to another channel and start trying to probably do what everyone else does and make more money on more stuff. But I don't think I have the time. I don't have the resources to do all that.
Yeah.
I think right now it's like it is a matter of Sparks Take and animation's the priority. Sparks Take comes out only when there's something that I know that I can either have a go at or mess about with, but animation's like the key focus. So I've thought about it, but I think for now I'm okay. I mean, I'm not, just because I'm not gaining tons and tons of views on Sparks Take, that doesn't bother me. The select people who do watch it seem to enjoy it, so that's all that matters to me at the moment.
That's good. Maybe you can't remember that well, but looking back to when we did do this, I was listening through the audio earlier on today. You mentioned about a January project. Did you hit that deadline for that January project?
I didn't hit that deadline.
No,
and,
neither did I.
No. No, but the difference is that the project that you wanted to do, which is this, is now being done. Mine still hasn't been done.
Oh, really?
No.
Why is that?
Because I was very ambitious with it. I did the 2 projects I wanted to get out. They did come out on time. Very happy with them. And then for December, it was. Oh yeah, I remember now. Because I got.
You never explicitly say what's on there. I
got a new job in December.
Oh, okay.
So then I lost time on doing it,
right.
and December was like a real down point, because like it was absolutely horrible what I went through. Not what I went through. That sounds hissy, and that I'm trying to make people feel sorry for me. But the experience was really horrible, and it really put me down. And then it got lifted back up again towards the end of December, towards the end of the year. But there wasn't enough time to make it. It was too big to get done in that time. It was a really silly idea. It was on the cloud, and I was like, it got to the point where I was like, if I meet it, I meet it. If I don't, I can make other things and I can build to it. And maybe I think my experience with the program wasn't the best it could be. I'm at a point now where I think I could definitely do it. Be a mighty challenge to do.
Always is with you.
I started making.
Never easy,
I did. There is stuff of it. There's like, it was what I had done of it was in, like, at New Year's I put in a video showing everything I'd made that year, and then there was a preview of some stuff that was going to come out. I think everything in that thing that is going to come out is not going to come out now. But the one
everything.
Well, I think I only showed 2 things. I showed an animation for a music video, which I just decided to do as a project, and then I drifted away from the original creators of that, and I just fell off of it, and so the project didn't take off. I've still got all the footage, and I might upload it at some point. I did make a little bit more afterwards, but and then the project after that was the project that was supposed to come out in January, and it didn't. But I'm kind of happy it didn't, because now I've learned more, and there should have been a trailer before what I wanted to do.
Okay. Which
is what I'm making now in between other stuff. That's taken a little bit of a back burner for now. It's not really something that's a matter of like, because it's not out yet, so I don't feel like I have to commit as much to it. But at some point, I'm definitely gonna nail down it a lot more. Some of it still needs to be written. Like, this is like, it is a really big project and it's very ambitious. So I need to have a definitive script, and I need to know exactly where it's going. But it like, planning wise and writing wise, everything, that's going fine.
Oh, good. I'm pleased. I'm glad to hear that.
Get the trailer done. When I get the trailer done, the trailer will come out. I don't know when it will come out. It's all gone a little bit weird again, because once again I've got more stuff coming up, so that means there's going to be less time. There's going to be 2 weeks where I literally cannot work on anything.
Mm.
So when that's over, up until then, I'm going to have to put my arse in gear and do as much as I can with it. And then when I come back from it, then hopefully we'll get some more stuff going.
How many projects you got on the go at like any one time? Like how many are sort of in progress like right now?
Right now, 2, but 2 is about to become 3.
Okay.
One of them could get done by the end of the month. Not by the end of this month, sorry. I guess animation-wise it could get done by the end of the month, and then editing-wise it might come out maybe early September, that's if I'm lucky. Another one's one I want to do for Halloween, which is, I think is a really good idea, and it's something I wanted to do last year, but I didn't finish it in time. And I had other stuff as well, so the Halloween one this year's hopefully going to be quite good, and then it's just focusing on that big project which can come out whenever it likes, whenever it's done.
Do you think you've improved how do you sort of rate your improvement as like an animator, or even more generally as a video maker in the last 11 12 months since we last did this?
I'd say a pretty good improvement, if like, because when we did this I was like on 200 and something, I think it was like 200.
Yeah, I can't remember what number you give. Yeah, something like that. 200. You mentioned a 200 subscriber video that you.
Yeah, it's like 200 subscriber that we did shortly before we did this for the first time, and now that's 700 and something. Might be early 700s. Might be real. Nice. I think it's like 704, which means to me that there's obviously been some sort of form of improvement, and there's obviously some people that want to keep watching. So I think I have improved, especially the latest video. There was a preview. I put out a preview for one of the projects I'm working on right now, and when I was making that, I was looking at it, and especially the last shot I animated of it, I was like, I'm getting really good now. Like, I can do it.
That's so nice to hear. Like you think you notice you're improving.
Yeah, I can make people run now. Couldn't do that a year ago. Couldn't do that a couple of months ago, but I can do it now, and that was an achievement. So it's onwards and upwards with it.
I'm glad. I'm really glad.
that seems to. Can we put that as the name of the podcast? Because that has been like your response to.
Well, I'm really.
I know. No, I'm not saying it's a bad thing.
Growth.
But like, this episode is episode whatever titled "I'm Glad."
Glad.
I'm glad too.
Just talking about some of like my what I mentioned in the initial episode.
Yeah.
I've got some notes down here. I haven't failed yet.
No.
That's good.
Do you mean at this?
Yeah. At this, I haven't stopped.
No.
Which is good. It isn't exactly what I wanted it to be. In the episode, I mentioned how I'm inspired by all these journalistic podcasts who like go out into the world and report a story and whatever. And so far, it's just I've done like one of those, which was my my episode 1, my countdown, where I weave in New Year's sound and stuff.
I like that.
And the rest have just been me talking with Baker, which is I really enjoy those. It's a good chance to sit down with Alex and chat and stuff. But I do want to do more like that countdown one.
There was when I was watching them, again, like the good thing I thought about it was I was like, he's not giving up on it, he's still doing it, and that's great. Because obviously, like, I think every single one since you initially interviewed Baker has had Baker in it, and that's not a bad thing by any means, because I find it very interesting to get Baker's takes on things as well. It's nice to have a second mouth to get an opinion on. But then there are obviously points where I go, I remember what he said he wanted it to be. If this is what he wants it to be now, then that's fine. He's doing what he wants.
Yeah.
I was curious to know if that is what you wanted it to be now. Would you be okay? That's a question. Then I guess
is this what I want it to be now?
Would you be fine with continuing the podcast if it was just chats between you and Baker, and occasionally, like, if you brought me back on or someone else we know on? If that was a route that you would be okay with taking, or is it that you think you might want to focus a little bit more on, like you said, that countdown sort of?
I have been thinking about this recently. I do want to do more countdown style stuff. I think the chats with Baker they're good. I really enjoy them, and they're much easier to produce.
Yeah,
they're much quicker in terms of editing and writing, and because you do no writing basically.
This is a scripted podcast.
You put together some show notes of stuff you want to talk about. You go to Baker's, you record the thing, you cut it in half, you chop it down. It's all good. I have on the go 3 or 4 initial scripts for more countdown style stuff, documentary style stuff, but it's a problem with me in that I'm really not confident in interviewing members of the general public.
Yeah.
Walking into London with these headphones on, this enormous 10-foot bloody microphone cable, I feel really exposed and not very confident in myself to go speak to people. So in terms of going out there, getting tape, what does Joe think about this issue or whatever, I haven't been able to physically bring myself to do that.
Right.
Admittedly, I haven't gone up and attempted to do it in a little while. I think it might be time to go back up there.
Did you try it then before? Did you take this up or something like this and try and get people's opinions on things?
I had it in my bag,
right,
and I went with the intention of interviewing people, and I put it together and I sort of hung it around my neck, and I was like, I'll get some background tape. I need to get the noise of the area first.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't really want to interview people. I'm quite introverted. I put it back in my bag and I went home, and I was really disappointed in myself, and I'm still disappointed with myself that I haven't been able to do that.
I mean, I can relate in the sense in my own. Actually, no, it's a subject for later on, I guess, if we get onto it. So I'll let you. But I definitely get what you mean about being disappointed in yourself for not doing something and for not following through on it. Although something I've found helpful is not that I just knocked one of my headphones out of my ears. But one thing I've found helpful is to know that it's not the only chance you'll get. Hopefully, like you said, there might be it might take you another few times before you go up there and you finally get the confidence to talk to someone. But if you go up there the next time and you still don't do it and you come back, I would probably have a little bit more of a mentality to go okay, I didn't do it this time, that sucks. And okay, it's fine to be a bit disappointed in yourself, I think, but maybe have a little bit more of a mentality of going, next time, see if I can just push a bit further and see if I can actually do it. And, onwards and upwards, you had the thought, you've gone up there, you got background noise, so you did something. It might not have been something. At least. It might not have been what you wanted to do, but you did something. So
the only problem now is it's coming into winter and it's more likely to rain. That gives me more excuses.
What's your opinion on winter?
Very bad. I think I know. I'm gonna do I need to refine the questions I want to ask, and I think I need to go to the right areas, because what I found the problem with going to London is there are so many tourists.
Yeah.
You don't know if anyone can actually speak English to you. And I'm really apprehensive about jumping into groups, but then simultaneously anyone by themselves will have headphones on. I just need to get over it. I am going to get over it, but that's a goal of mine. Again, before the end of the year, I'd like to have interviewed some humans on the street.
Yeah.
And maybe not have an episode together, but the beginnings of an episode. That's my goal for the end of the year. Do you have any goals from your side of things you want to achieve before the end of the year?
I want to get back into writing a lot more. It's kind of stopped, and if we get onto that subject, I'll talk more about it. But I did try writing again in July. I took a massive break from it, and I'm currently at writer's block. So actually, do you know what? I guess that's the aim: is to get past the current writer's block I have and get through something. But apart from that, I mean, I think I just need to get my acting CV out there again. I've had a couple of acting jobs since we last talked, but it's extra stuff, and not that I don't mind doing extra stuff. It's just I would like to do more. I'd like to do more than just stand and be told what to do. I want to have something to do. I want to contribute more to that to that industry. So I guess that's an aim to the end of the year would probably be to progress with that a little bit.
Okay.
It doesn't matter how much or how far I get with it or how little, as long as I actually take some sort of step forward. I think that's a good way to put it, I think.
One of the things I mention in the episode is that I care way too much about what people think about what I produce, and that is still the case.
Yeah.
I think I've only shared 1 or 2 or maybe 3 of these episodes with my Facebook.
Yeah.
Because I'm so concerned, partly that I have people who might know me from work or who don't even know me from I don't know, people who've never. I'm I'm overly conscious about what people on Facebook who
Yeah.
I'm supposedly friends with will think about this podcast if they listen, or they'll just get annoyed that I keep posting stuff that they don't want to listen to.
There are times where I wonder on Facebook if anyone on there, except you guys, because you guys are like the ones I see. I see you like every so often, so obviously that's fine. But there are people on there where I'm literally like, I was like, are you really my friend? Like, and I'm not doubting someone's friendship in the sense of being like, I don't like you and I question why we're friends. It's just like I don't interact with you.
I just sort of know you.
You're on the Facebook. Share this to one that everyone will leave me on Facebook. I don't even use it. Like I don't do that either. I don't share my content on Facebook either. I don't know why. I feel like
it's like another couple of hundred extra views. Like potential views.
I feel like my content. Like I don't know why I don't do it. Like that's the thing. Like I don't know. Like maybe in my head I'm going like, well, no one thought I would do this. Why would they care now? Or like. But like again on Facebook, I don't interact with anything on there, and therefore nothing interacts with me. So why should I put it out there? Like if
no, I get that.
It's just going to be me going like
here's a thing,
here's another thing. Oh look, no one's interacting with it, which is fine. I don't mind. It's my fault for, especially with people from college, people who I said like, oh don't worry, I'll text you. Never text them. Never, haven't talked to barely any of them. I think the last person I talked to was a girl who was interested in buying the book.
Oh, wow.
And that was it. That was a brief interaction. That's the last I've heard of anyone from that. Oh no, someone invited me to one of their plays, and they were like, "Oh, if you could make it, that would be great." I couldn't make it, but I couldn't make it, but at the same time, I didn't want to be like, "No, I can't do it." So I was hoping that I would be able to find the time to do it, and that time didn't come up.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I knew it probably wasn't going to come up. They probably hate me now.
Probably. Yeah. Totally.
Nah,
yeah.
maybe not. They're cool. They're nice guys. They have their own sort of like. Oh, if you put it on Facebook, I will obviously share it as well. So if
this is very meta.
I know that they started like a short film sort of like it's not really a company. I guess it's kind of like
But it kind of is a company
in a way. Yeah, like
they're trying to be professional about
it.
Yeah,
they're trying to be professional about it. And they've made a couple of things, and they're quite nice quality stuff and that. So props to them on that. Just know that if they do hear this, I don't hate you. Don't worry, I love you more than anything in the world. But like, I think we're all getting to that point now where we're so busy. In just life in general, and everyone moves to different places and moves on. It's just hard to do what you used to do in like school days and the college days and all that. Again, even in school, didn't talk to many of the people. It's just a bit weird, the whole Facebook thing. Facebook's weird to me.
I don't know why I haven't done a podcast with you since the very first one. It's like you're like not even that far away.
I questioned it so much. Let's give some background. Let's give some background.
Why?
So Steve comes around, does the first podcast. It's not really the first one, but like it's like I call it the beta.
It was the first long form interview I'd done with anybody.
Oh yeah, you've done other ones. Like you said,
I mentioned
you'd gone down to. I think you talked to Sam. You talked to Beth.
That was like 20 minutes each. We recorded for almost 2 hours.
Yeah,
between us.
So that all happens, and I didn't think anything in terms of like he'll upload it. I just thought it was like for you to test how it all sounded, and that I had no idea he was going to upload it until like a few weeks ago when I last saw him. And he was like, "I've edited it together," and I was like, "Oh."
I regret some things I said.
I didn't regret anything I said. I was just sort of like, it's like, like I wasn't really like I rambled a bit and I sort of just gurgled out anything that came into my head.
I did cut massive parts of that out.
Yeah.
You go on a diatribe about Red Dead Redemption 2, which is like completely not relevant anymore. So
that
entire thing, gone.
But like again, like at the same time, because when you had come to do the first one, it didn't feel like we were treating it as a first one. It felt like we were testing your equipment and making sure everything worked properly. So I didn't think anything of it professionally like I am now, like sitting here and making sure that I'm actually thinking out what I'm going to say and making sure that it makes sense. I think I got a text again in maybe April. I want to say April.
Mate, I've been so busy at work.
And
that's why.
And Steve texted me and he was like, "Are you free to do it at some point?" I was like, "When?" Like, you asked when it was best for me, and I said like the later half of the week. He said, yeah, sure, cool. We had a day.
It's my fault.
It wasn't like I held no ill will towards him or anything, because like it was a matter of like I had my work planned out for the day, and then it was like, okay, I'll get all this done, then I will do this podcast, and then Steve had obviously had a very hard and busy day at work, and just said he wasn't up for it, and I was just like, that's fine. If you, because you said, I think you were doing overtime that day or something.
Yeah, I've been doing so much overtime since April. It's not even funny.
So he'd done that, and I was like, that's fine. I'll just get on with my own work, and not in the sense of again, like I had no ill will towards him or anything.
I'm glad.
And then
I said it again.
But then the Baker episodes came out. No, I'm kidding. Like no, but then like,
shall I tell you what that is?
Was it just easier? Because you did say that it was easy to sort of set up and produce and all that stuff.
It's so much easier to, like, Baker has an extra microphone, so I don't have to be sodding around with that.
Yeah.
So we can both use professional microphones.
Fair
He's
play.
got mic stands in his house. I went over there once to listen to a gig of his, and took this because I wanted to record some of the gig.
Oh, yeah.
And then ended up just, like, interviewing him the day before anyway. And then that just became a regular thing. Like, whenever I went around his house to go for a gig, or occasionally just to, like, speak, go see him or whatever.
Yeah.
It's kind of ridiculous that you're so close to me that I don't know.
Especially when...
In my mind, like, I don't know why, but, like, you're really busy on the weekend. Like, you're probably not. But, like,
I can free up time whenever.
Exactly. But, like, I thought the best time to speak to you is during the week. And because I was doing so much overtime at work, I was like, I really can't speak to Ryan during the week.
Yeah.
For some reason, Stephen, there are Saturdays and Sundays. It's like, I don't know.
Yeah, it's fine.
I don't know.
It's like, it was fine. Like, But I think you mentioned it a few times. Maybe you mentioned it before. I have a feeling that you did, that you mentioned you were editing the first thing we did.
Mm.
And I think then that might have been at Kick's Barbecue. I think you briefly mentioned it. You just touched on it.
Mm.
And then in my head I was going, maybe he's waiting because we said we were going to meet up ages. I was like, and if he's waiting till then fine. And then that was the mentality I had, is that when I get called to do this, it's because about around a year or so has passed, and fine. At that point, I was like, I will just listen to them and leave a like and everything when they come out in obviously support and all that. So yeah, I wasn't like ill-willed or anything about it.
Thank you.
I was like, he's obviously.
It was so
busy.
difficult to edit. Like, in hindsight, I probably should have just scrapped it. Like you said, like, just. This is a tester thing. You don't have to use it, Stephen.
Yeah.
You know, in hindsight, maybe I don't know. Maybe I should have done it. It took me so long. I mean, for starters, it's the longest thing I've ever done.
Yeah.
I think the initial was
We're
almost
topping it today.
2.5 hours. I was like, I don't know, Ryan. It's like 8 o'clock already. It was like 2.5. So even just like listen to it once to try and get a handle on it took ages. It's about third edit, I think. I mean, it's posted now. It took 3 separate edits, and I thought about just chopping bits of it up and splicing it into the Countdown style documentary piece where I was like,
that would have been cool.
Ryan thinks this about creativity, while someone else thinks this about creativity, and stitching it all together. I might still do that. I don't know.
Oh, mate, if you did that, there might be a time where I'm like, what do you know? You randomer. No, I guess you could do that. You could ask for views on creativity. No one, I think, has the complete same view. There's always a little detail that's a bit different.
See, these 2 episodes for you are going to be like really meta, in that we're talking about the podcast on a podcast.
But there was a starting point. I think we can address that. Is we agreed that we were going to do this. So I think it's fine that we're doing it. If it's too meta to you, go away. No, I'm kidding. Don't go. Stay, please. But like, I think it's fine that it might be meta that we're talking about this podcast, because it was an objective that you wanted to keep going. You've achieved it. You said like, hopefully you're still doing it when we get to this, and you've done it. So we've achieved
have a
the goal.
review once my birthday came and went, and here we are.
We have achieved the goal here. So that's good. That's fine. Who cares if it's meta? Obviously, not obviously, and honestly, I think at the same time, anyone who views this now knows that you had doubts about it, and you had doubts about getting to this point, and it just shows, put your mind to something, keep doing it, boom. Here you go.
I'm
a
pretty
year
sure
later.
you said those exact words. Have you done that deliberately?
No, I haven't done it deliberately, but I think you're right. I'm
going to try and find that bit of audio.
I remember I did say last time, if you want to do something, just do it.
Yeah. And then I mentioned Nike and their phrase.
Yeah.
And oh, God. Yeah.
I don't wear any Nike merchandise at all. Just throwing that out there.
So, looking forwards to the future, how do you want, first question, do you want to grow your subscriber base? Do you have a goal in mind in terms of numbers?
At the moment, it's just 1,000. Just to get over 1,000.
That's just the next milestone.
It's mostly just, I know I interrupted that.
That's fine.
But just quickly, it's like, it is a matter of like, okay, this is the goal I've got now. Of like a specific number of things. So first it was like, okay, get to 50 and 100, 250, 500.
All the sort of nice round numbers.
I don't know why I haven't considered 750. I don't know why. Maybe I should. But 1,000's kind of is kind of the ideal thing I'd like.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know why.
Have you got any sort of firm plans in place about how you want to like achieve that sort of? Have you got like any ideas about how you can get to that next stage?
Just make better animations that people will watch. Like I think with Source Filmmaker, it's a state of where if you're making something original, it's probably not going to get any attention. It has to be about an existing product in order for it to gain traction. I mean, what's the top 4 videos now?
Do you want to have a look?
Yeah, I will look as well. So, the first 2 are the Metal Gear Solid videos. The property is Metal Gear Solid. One of them came out like...
Were they related to Metal Gear Solid 5?
Yeah.
That
they were
time?
directly relating to Metal Gear Solid 5.
Okay.
And although, at the same time, I find it quite weird, and I think I put it in the end of year 2016 video, is the original has 51,000 views, and that was made in 2015 November, and it took a year to get to about 35,000. The remake has 88,000, and it topped the original in a month.
Wow!
Which to me was that spoke volumes, not only to how well I had progressed within a year, but at the same time I did think a huge part of it was because it was better animated, and at the same time it was directly referencing something that a lot of people didn't like about Metal Gear Solid 5, and it was trying in a way to give people an option to view it in the way they might have preferred it.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's why I got the attention. After that, a video that is one of my most conflicted in terms of the opinion on it, which is an Overwatch short featuring Sombra, because the model came out, and I remember tweeting about it. The original model didn't work because half the textures were missing. And I was really upset because Sombra is my favourite character in Overwatch. So I had to use a different skin. At the same time, I was like, she's my favourite character from this game. I want to try and animate her, but I don't want to just have it on her own. I want to try and craft some sort of funny story thing around. The Overwatch community did not agree, and the Overwatch community, who are admittedly very toxic, a lot like many Blizzard games, did not see it in the way that some other people say it. It's like almost on that half and half of dislike ratio.
Wow.
But I think the reason they don't like it is because it wasn't what they expected it to be when it was a massive test. And like, I can't blame them for hating it. It's really weird, but that was the point. So it's just a message that didn't get conveyed to them, and I'm not surprised they reacted the way they did, because they react like that to everything. The next one is Mario plus Rabbids, a short reaction, which I literally...
Was that an animation?
Yeah.
So your top 4 videos are all animations?
My top 6 are animations.
What's 7?
7 is a dub test that I did for the Fairy Tail anime, where I just overdubbed it. It's got like 5,000 views. I'm going to turn my volume down, and I just want to see the light thing, because I don't think I'm not going to say in case someone doesn't dislikes it. I don't think it has. No, it's got like it's got no dislikes, and I was like really happy about that. I was like, I think.
And how many views has that got with no dislikes?
That's got like 5,000.
And no dislikes.
Yeah, and someone said
that's incredible.
Someone put a comment here. They put, based on your description, doesn't sound off. To be perfectly honest, I thought he was voiced by the same actor, so I'd say that you rival his acting skills as Grey, which is the character. It wasn't the character I was conveying. I was playing Lucy, who goes into Grey's body. So really, I was, without even realising it at the time, I was voicing a girl. But it was, that attention's great. Fourth one is fourth. Oh god, the fifth one could overtake it. To be fair, so fourth one is Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Mix reaction. Then it is Knock Knock Knuckles the Tank Engine, which was the weirdest video I've ever made.
Oh
but
my
I loved
god,
making
that sounds ridiculous.
Have you not seen it?
I don't think I have.
I have to show you it. I'll show you after the podcast. It is I think the reason why this is the one I'm telling you about that blew up recently. It had like 500 views, and then suddenly
someone shared it somewhere.
And I'm almost certain of it. I think it is because a new Sonic game started to approach, and because it has Knuckles in it, and it's a joke. It's an ongoing joke. It's like a meme. Someone picked it up.
You've made a good meme video.
And 500 odd views turned into 11,000.
Jesus.
Now, and then the next one's a Ruby video. The one after the dub is another Ruby video, and Kingdom Hearts, and then Uncharted. Sparks takes probably like way down the list.
That's so interesting because like I'm not a massive animation guy. Like I'll watch, like sometimes I don't get the references like you make. Like I'm not deep into the animation community. I'm not deep into Metal Gear Solid. I'm not deep into Sonic or whatever. Like to me, your most interesting video, the videos I like the most and that I think should be viral, or your Sparks takes. But like people love your animations, man. That's like. Particularly, like, that's so interesting about like your Sonic one. Like, you've clearly hit on something. It's gonna explode.
Yeah,
like,
it's suddenly just and like
that's so interesting.
There's more Sonic stuff coming because at first when I used to look at it, I was like, he's just too hard to animate. It's cartoon more. It's more cartoon. Whereas I feel more comfortable in animating more realistic movements and more on the ground sort of style as opposed to making something cartoony. But what I've done so far of the Sonic video that's coming up, I'm quite impressed with. For the first time of doing stuff like that, I'm not doing too bad with it. I don't think I'd ever commit to it more, especially with the big project that I'm working on. That's more to the ground than that, but that's ambitious as well. But yeah, like I'm not surprised the animations do better. I'd put the same amount of effort into both, really.
Yeah.
If I'm making a Sparks take, I'll put exactly the same amount of effort as I am into an animation. So yeah, that's
really interesting. You give off like a different vibe, the Baker, and like I value the ways that you're different.
Yeah.
Like you're really interesting. You're similar, but you're different. It's really very strange. Do you have anything you want to close this out with? Anything any words of wisdom?
I'd say all in all, when we're closing this off,
is kind of like a year review. So
closing this off as a year review, we haven't done too bad. I think we've definitely had up and down moments throughout the year. I definitely have.
Yeah.
But we've managed to stick with what we've wanted to stick to. Some things have gotten better. Some things may have gotten a little bit worse. But I think the key thing to take away is that we've both managed to still do what we wanted to do.
Yeah.
And that's the most important thing with this. We have done it. We haven't made it, but we've done something.
We're not world famous, but we've done what we
not
wanted
yet.
to do.
No, but we've done something, and I'm proud of that. I'm proud that I've obviously managed to stick with animating. I've managed to grow that channel into something that I like years ago. Do you know what? I compare it to Sonic Mania. If years ago, right? If years ago when I was 3 years old. No, I think this is good. Right?
Keep going.
So
I love it.
3 years old, first video game I ever played was Sonic the Hedgehog 2. And then obviously that's the whole 2D thing, the whole 2D side scrolls and that back in that day. And when I was 6 years old, it kind of all stopped, and it was all 3D Sonic and all that stuff.
Yeah.
It was all 3D. I think over time, I've lost faith in in the character and the series a little bit, because it doesn't feel like there's as much passion and care in it anymore. But I wish now, after playing Sonic Mania, I wish I could go back in time and tell my 6-year-old self, don't worry,
Sonic Mania is coming.
But in you want to put it like that, but at the same time, like, don't worry, don't lose faith, because it gets good. It's still good, and people now remember what was good, and hopefully now more will come from that. Now that people know it's good and that it sells and that, I do that to myself as well. Like last year, I'd say, like, you're going to have some downs, you're going to have some ups, much like there was when I look at the Sonic series throughout the rest of my life, but it gets better. Is the good thing to take away from it, I think, is what I tell my 6-year-old self is, don't worry, Sonic gets better. While I tell my 21-year-old self, like, everything will get better.
That is a beautiful note to end on.
I was so happy.
Thank you very much.
And that's what it is. That's the plug at the end. It's like, yeah, boom. We knew we could fit Sonic Mania into it at the end. Sega, hire me. Come on, I can promote that. I can do it better than Aaron Webber.
Speaking of promoting that, do you have anything you wish to plug, Ryan? Anything you wish the people to go visit?
I guess obviously there's a channel, which is the Ryan Spark. Subscribe, like, I'm slipping into the character now, so subscribe. I would say Patreon, but, like, yeah, if you want to check out the Patreon, go ahead and check out the Patreon. Request whatever you want. I will make it. I don't care what it is. I really don't. Unless I don't have the models for it, in which case it just can't be done.
Yeah.
I guess as well, Descendants is on Amazon. It's actually cheaper now. I've sorted that out. That is only $1.99 on Kindle now.
Bargain.
And that is $6.99 in paperback. That's much better deal, I think. I think that's much better suited. Anyone that actually paid other price, I'll pay you back.
No, you won't.
I mean, I don't know. But yeah, I think that's all I can really plug.
Cool. Thank you for listening. You can follow the podcast on Twitter at Pelorus Pod. Make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you listen to podcasts through YouTube, make sure to like and comment and stuff on the YouTube channel. Or if you listen to it through iTunes, give us a rate, review, subscribe, all that good stuff. If you have any questions, topics you want us to cover, you can email us at peloruspodcast@gmail.com or visit the website peloruspodcast.com. Ryan, thank you very much.
Thank you very much for having me, Steve. That was a beautiful way. I love how you've memorised all that. That's brilliant.
It gets better.
That's good.
Let's turn the bloody lights on.
I don't know why we weren't turning. I was like,
it's so dark.